Guys, Sterling and Cejudo go face-to-face this Saturday at UFC 288. So make sure to take advantage of an exciting offer from my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet $5 on any pre-fight money line and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. You can use your $150 in bonus bets on fight parlays, where you can combine multiple bets on the same fight into a parlay for a shot at even more action. If mobile sports betting is not yet available in your state, you can still get in on the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy, where they offer cash prize contests for nearly every sport. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. New customers, just click on the link below to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Remember, use promo code Sonnen and bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code Sonnen only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Jon Jones is on the heels of a massive announcement. And I got to tell you, I'll respect it. I will really, really respect it. But he came out and he did some statements saying, I don't understand this. They call it the swerve. You try to throw people off. It's important. It's important storytelling. Almost every movie that I watch that I like has what they call it, like, twist at the end, right? Take the audience this way, you bring it back over here, you fade to black, roll the credits. Everybody's like, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming. All right. So I can't hate on what he's doing. I can't hate on what he's doing, but I don't know that I agree with it. I feel like when you have a guy like Jon, there is something very valuable to the lesson of the truth will set you free. So I don't know that I agree with the swerve here. Let me bring you guys up to speed. This is Jon talking. I think after the Stipe fight, that's going to be plenty for me. I feel like I really wouldn't have much more to prove after beating Stipe. I've been in the game a long time. In fighter years, I'm an old guy. I've been training for a long time. I've been in the game for a long time. And no, I'm not repeating myself. He repeated himself. And got some small injuries. I'd really like to just be around my family, be around my kids. I want to be able to play with my kids, have a good head on my shoulders, have my joints work. That sounds reasonable. So I can see the end coming really soon, and I'll be proud of my career. That also sounds reasonable. He then jumps in on Francis, and I don't really want to read it to you because it's a little bit dull, but he gets in on Francis, guys, and it is very relevant. When he talks about Francis, he sells Francis as though he's the guy in the room that understands how this works. He tells you that Francis used to be world champion. Francis has a lot of fans. That fight could bring a lot of attention and bring a lot of money because of Francis's popularity. He explains that. And there's always a guy where the light goes on. I mean, at some point, the light goes on. And he comes out and he does an interview. He's got to tell the world what he's found out in his studies in the MMA business. Which is, it's not about what your resume is. It's about how many people want to see it. And like when that light goes on, he's devastated. Nobody's ever come to that realization and been happy and embraced and go, oh, okay, great. That's what I need to do. And when I say nobody, Colby did. But I'll share with you. They got to come out. They got to tell the world like it's a bad thing. I had this happen, guys. I had this happen in my own life. I'll leave the name out of it. But I had a friend that was going crazy. And we were at the gym one day. My friend is looking around. It's after practice. We're sitting around. He's going to poison. He's going to poison the business of the gym. He's going to tell us members what's really going on here. And he looks left and right. He swears everybody to secrecy. And then he tells us, hey, you pay every month. Every month. They take it right out of your account every month. Whether you come or not. If you come every day, it's $100 a month. But if you don't come at all, it's $100 a month. And so he explained the gym business model, but he did it in a way that made it look egregious. And it was just one of these weird moments for me. But every fighter comes to it. I didn't know that Jon, at 37 years old and a multiple-time champion, is just now realized, but he did, and he wants you to know that he knows it. And Francis is a big draw. And the reason that's interesting, everything that he said is right. It was just obvious and didn't need said. But hold the thought, 'cause I'm not teasing him at all. The next paragraph down, he then talks about surgery. Look, everybody's talking to me about surgery. It's Sergi, but the truth is, you don't know him. This is Jon speaking. He says, you don't know him. He said, Luke Thomas said it best, high risk, low reward. But if the UFC wants to come to me with the right numbers, we can make the Sergi fight. Now, they don't go together. The Francis fight brings in big money because people know Francis, people want to see that, people have been talking about it. Sergi doesn't bring in big money because he doesn't bring in a bunch of attention because people don't know him. That's fair. How do you get to how do you get new numbers for that? You just revealed, right? It's one of these things. Now, there's no point in talking about it anyway because Jon Jones isn't going to retire. It isn't Stipe and then bust. I mean, I've got to say that in his defense. I don't think it's Stipe at all. I mean, I know these things are up in the air. I do know that, but I know that Madison Square Garden, I know this. I'm telling you this. Madison Square Garden, which has been earmarked for Stipe and Jones, is now, they're giving a real good look at Conor and Chandler, just so you understand. And if Stipe and Jones don't do it on that date in the Garden, they're not doing it. I'm not sharing an opinion right now. I'm giving you news. I'm telling you something. You got to connect the dots from there, right? And Jon would fight Sergi. Make no mistake. He's having a little fun right now. He's doing whatever it is he's doing it for some fun. Whether that's to goat Stipe, was to get Sergi's name out there, whether he's wine drunk when he picked up the phone in the interview. I mean, I can't really explain it. It's not a compelling or interesting interview. But it's something. And it's a big deal. I told you guys this yesterday. You loyal follower, you saw it yesterday. Maybe you think, hey, Chael, did you forget you kind of just made the same video. Well, I sort of did. But I added it yesterday, and there's a lot there, right? There's a massive part of this that you always protect the business. Always. And I always will protect the business. And sometimes there's stuff that I got to discuss with you. Sometimes I feel that way. So after I did this piece yesterday, and after I told you this Chandler and McGregor thing isn't adding up, and that's now being looked at for the Garden, which means Stipe and Jones are not. After I told you this, Chandler came out and confirmed it. Chandler said, yeah, man, this is not progressing. Conor has his story and USADA's got a different one. They don't go together. Maybe the fight will happen in the winter. So after I brought it to your attention, Chandler revealed that he sees the same tea leaves. That's really interesting. Chandler versus Conor at the Garden. That's really interesting. Anywhere they want to do it is really interesting. It replacing what we thought was going to be the main event, in my opinion, is the bigger story. My opinion, that's the much bigger story. And that's where Jon's feet are held to the fire, right? Jon is making it very clear, and he's doing his best to play the game and fight Stipe, no matter what it means. No matter what. He wanted to fight him last December. He couldn't wait anymore. He had to get. He's a prize fighter. He hadn't been fighting in 3 years. He's got to get in there and get a check. So he gets in there, and it wasn't Stipe. It was somebody else. So he tries to get Stipe in the summer, and that's not going to work. So, I mean, he's willing to wait. He's willing to wait, but he's got to do the match. He has to do the match. He's not in a position to walk away. He's not even pretending that he is. But I think that adds fuel as to why, right? If you're worried you're going to lose him once he does this match, but that match isn't booked yet, why would you book the match? I'm just asking the question. I'd love to know. I like to learn things. Very smart minds over there. They can teach me something. I haven't in 25 years, but they could, and I'm open to it. GOAT in the division has a match that once it's done, he leaves. Why would you give him that match? He has to fight again. He's not hiding that. He's not in a position to walk away. Why would you give him that match that you believe he's going to walk away on? Very reasonable question to ask.